And now, the kickoff episode of Donny Boast Weekly Football Flash with your host, Donny Boast.
Ladies and gentlemen, week one in the NFL is about to be underway. The kickoff game will be Thursday, September 7th, 2017. Here we go. Another round of football. Another year. And of course, we're starting things off with the Super Bowl champion, world champion, New England Patriots at home against the Kansas City Chiefs. The spread in this game is -9 New England. Of course, you have to take it because the champs are at home and the champs are always hungry. Moving across the board now, we have Tampa Bay at Miami. Here's a game that's going to be muddled with all sorts of hurricane talk by the time it comes around on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll see if this game actually gets played. We hope it does. We hope Hurricane Rita doesn't affect it. I'm surprised there's actually a line on this game. It's +2.5 Miami. And considering the fact they don't have a quarterback, I still don't think Tampa Bay is good enough to go into anywhere and win. I would take Miami with the money line here. Oakland getting out to Tennessee. Tennessee, this line moved a point now. It was a pick'em when it opened, and now Tennessee is favored by 2 points. Oakland the underdog. If this was a year ago, Oakland would have been favored. And of course, there's a lot of energy going out there on Tennessee. It could be a kind of stamp game for Tennessee if they can beat the visiting Oakland at home on opening weekend. That could be a promising sign for the Titans. But nonetheless, I think the Raiders are going to do it. Take the money line there as well. Jacksonville at Houston. Well, here's another hurricane game for you, folks. And the last time we saw this kind of a scenario, it was when the New Orleans Saints were at home against the Atlanta Falcons in that famous game where they were favored by only 4 points and won by 100. And of course, the Black Punters what started it all off. And I think Jacksonville is going to walk into a buzzsaw out there in Houston. I think J.J. Watt is going to be playing for the home crowd, and that defense lives and dies by J.J. Watt, Clowney, and the rest of the bunch. I like Houston to win big here and cover the 5.5 big time. The Philadelphia Eagles will walk into the Washington Racists at a nice little, game here going on. It's a pick'em. +1 for Washington, but I do think the Feagles are going to win the game because I don't know who's going to win this game. This is a stupid game. We don't know what either team's going to do. The Racists are terrible. The Eagles, we don't know who they are. I guess I would just take the Eagles because I just don't like the Racists. The Jets at Buffalo. My God, this is an actual football game. This is an actual NFL professional football game. I don't even know where the line opened, but some spreads have it as low as 6. I don't even know who's carrying it at 6, but that's what the board says here. My goodness, if you can get it at 6, I guess take it. But the average line is 9.5 Buffalo. Buffalo has nobody. The Jets have nobody. I'm sorry, but as terrible as both these teams are, and even though it's in Buffalo, I got to take the Jets to cover 9.5 because both teams are just garbage. Atlanta at Chicago. The Chicago Bears, of course, are another terrible franchise. There's a lot of them to go around. I mean, what can I say? The coach doesn't know who's getting drafted. I don't even know if Trubisky's going to start. I guess he is. They got some kid named Howard running the ball for him, but that's just not going to be enough. Atlanta, they'll be able to come out and play hard, play well. They're going to go over the top on Chicago all day, and they should cover the 7 points. If they don't, that is immediate Super Bowl hangover talk for Atlanta. Part of me wants to say take Chicago to cover, but the other half of me is saying, why on earth would you ever bet Chicago to do anything that terrible? Baltimore at Cincinnati. Here's a nice one to get out of the way, a division rival matchup. The Ravens at the Bungles, and the Bungles are favored by 3 points against the Ravens. That 3 points is basically a home field advantage here, and I guess you should take Cincinnati to cover the 3 I think it'll be an interesting game. The over-under is 42.5. I like the over in this game more than anything because I think both offenses can actually get something going because both defenses are not really that good as much as some people might like the Bungles. Of course, I never do. Arizona, Detroit. Detroit is dogs at home in their home opener, and they're looking at a 48 over. Some books have it at 48.5, some as far as 47.5. I would stay away from the over-under on this one. I would just take Detroit to win at home. I don't think Arizona's any good. I think they've got some right pieces in some right places. But if Detroit's going to win a couple of games this year, this has got to be one of them. Take the money line out there for Detroit to win at home in their opener. The Pittsburgh Steelers will go into the Cleveland Browns. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are favored by about 10 million points. Take them all. The Browns are disgusting. Indianapolis at the Lambs. Well, this will be an interesting ball game. The over-under is 41.5 points and holding steady at around that of 42. The Lambs are getting an extra half a point to make it 3.5 they're favored by. That's kind of gutty, but I don't know what to take here. This is a tough matchup. I don't know which team is going to show up for either side. I guess you have to take the Lambs. Carolina at San Francisco. San Francisco's favored by, they're 5.5 dogs. Carolina's favored by 5.5. And I don't know which team is going to show up on either side, to be honest. I don't think Carolina's defense is going to be there. I'm going to take the Yorks to cover in this one because I think their front seven is pretty pesky and young, and they have better coaching now. Seattle at Green Bay. This is one of those good matchups that you hope can last a lifetime. Green Bay, of course, is favored by 3, and you got to take them. The New York Giants at the Dallas Cowboys. It's the Cowboys favored by 3.5. I think they'll win a lot more than that. I think it's going to be a big home opener there for Dallas. They're going to have some emotion for Texas as well, and I think they win by at least 6. New Orleans at Minnesota. Well, the old Vikings are still around regardless of how much you like them, hate them, or love them. What can I say? They're favored by 3.5 at home. These are some very odd home spreads. You got to take Minnesota. The Chargers at Denver. Take Denver minus 3.5. We'll see you next time.